if you want to be flexible and have a flexible lower body and hips in general, your adductors are some really important muscles you want to stretch. Not only because having more adductors flexibility can help you achieve flexibility positions like the splits, but also because the adductors are huge muscles that may limit your lower body flexibility a lot. So if you want to move your legs and your hips better, you definitely want to stretch your adductors. I'm the flexibility guy, Coach Elia, and in this video, I'm going to show you the best exercises you want to use to stretch your adductors. Let's go. Your adductors are huge muscles that you have right over here inside of your legs. There are three major adductor muscles. Then there is your pectineus and your gracilis. So we're talking about 5 different muscles. And they can adduct your hips, so they can move your legs like this, your hips like this. They can also internally rotate your femurs, so they turn your femurs in. And they can also flex your hip, so they can do something like this. So you can say there are so many movements that your adductors can do. And this is why it's so important to stress them if you want to have flexible hips and legs. And we do want to start with this first exercise, the butterfly pose. The butterfly pose is an exercise you want to perform with your back against the wall. Now your hips are well pressed against the wall as well. Your back is straight. Now, feet toward your hips. You join your feet in front of your hips like this, and you do want to drive your knees down. Now, you can use your hands, but using some weight is even better because it helps you get into a deeper position. So you want to put some weights on top of your knees and move your knees down. Now, remember that you don't want to use too much weight, all right? So the weight must help you just get deeper into the position, but you don't want to resist to the weight, all right? You just want to feel that your muscles are relaxing here. And you basically want to drive your knees as close to the floor as possible and stop wherever you feel the desired sensation of stretch. You can perform this exercise statically or dynamically. Now, with dynamically, I mean you can move your knees up and down for reps. This helps you work on your adductors' strength and flexibility at the same time. And strength is a huge component of your flexibility practice. So if you get stronger, you can also get more flexible as long as you explore your max range of motion. And statically, you just want to basically remain in the stretch and try to relax as much as possible, okay? So you just want to move your knees down. Of course, you want to stop wherever your max range of motion is, all right? So don't overdo it. Stop wherever you feel a good amount of tension on your adductors, but you can also relax in the position properly and push your knees down. Now, a couple of things you do want to remember. First, so you want to use some yoga blocks under your knees. These yoga blocks are going to help you better relax in the stretch. And in this way, you're going to better stay in the position and track your progress. Because whenever you feel that the yoga blocks are too high, you can move them out or turn them down, so putting them lower. And so you can better understand how far you're going into the stretch, and also when you pass the yoga blocks with your knees, you can completely relax the muscles of your legs, and this is going to help you better relax into the stretch and gain more range of motion. Second thing you want to remember, now your back may get a little bit off the wall, especially your hips, and your feet may get a little away from your hips. This is normal. As long as it's not too much, if it's a little adjustment, we can tolerate that, all right? So no problem, it's equally good. Sets and reps wise, you do want to perform a couple of sets. First, you do want to move your knees up and down for 10 reps, and then you want to stop in the bottom position for 10 final breaths, trying to relax and bring your knees down. Second exercise you want to use for your adductors. This is really simple, but effective like crazy. Now, you want to use a weight and a support. The most important thing is that you can use a chair, box, whatever. Your knee has to be on the same line as your hips when your foot is on the support. So, all right, now from here, upright torso, one leg down straight, one leg on the support bent 90 degrees here. From here, I do want to drive my body in between my legs. So not too much toward my bent leg, not too much toward my straight, in between the legs, all right? head in front of you, hips back, you keep your back as straight as possible and you drive this knee out. The stretch has to be here on the adductors of your bent leg. Down, reach the bottom, feel the stretch, stop wherever you feel the stretch correctly, come back up. You can repeat this for 10 reps for a dynamic variation that is going to help you build strength and control in the range of motion. On the last rep, so after 6 to 10 reps, you can stop in the stretch and perform the static variation where you want to relax and get deeper and deeper into the stretch, trying to keep your back straight and to push this knee out. 3 things are important here. First one, you do want to drive your body in between the legs. The second one, you do want to drive your bent legs knee out. And to do that, you have to squeeze your glutes. So squeeze your glutes at all times with this stretch to open the knee out. And third one, I don't want to get into the stretch like this, okay? I don't want to curve my back too much. I do want to drive my head in front of me and my hips back, keep the knee on top of my foot. And from here, I want to get into the stretch. This allows me to focus the stretch on my adductors. Third exercise we do want to see for the adductors is called the frog stretch. Now, you may have seen this exercise here done this way, but I must tell you, this exercise here won't lead you to a superior adductors flexibility, mostly because the friction with the floor is too high. So if your adductors are tight, your hips are tight, you won't get farther, okay? Instead, what you do want to do is this. We do want to put your back on the floor. You do need weights here, all right? Now, you want to take one shin bone of distance between your hips and the wall, this way. Now, you spread your legs apart and you put your feet on the wall in line with your knees. So I do want to see a 90-degree angle here, knee level. Now, you take the weights and you put the weights on top of the knees, like this. And the stretch essentially goes like this, with the pressure of the weights and of your hands. So you also want to push with your hands. So this is really important. This is critical, all right? You do want to move your knees down, relax your hips, and get into the stretch, okay? You want to stop wherever you feel the desired sensation of stretch on your adductors and on your hips. During this stretching position, you can arch your back a little bit, especially if you feel like your lower back wants to do this. So you can move your hips into anterior tilt and open your lower back. This means that you're not gonna touch the floor with the lower back. This is okay. Don't force yourself into a flat lower back position. As for the butterfly pose, you can perform a dynamic or a static variation. Now, with the dynamic, you can move your knees up and down for reps. So this is going to help you work on your strength and flexibility at the same time, helping you control your range of motion better. With the static variation, you're gonna work on your end range of motion. So you're gonna increase the max amount of flexibility you have in this position here. The most important thing in this stretching position is that your feet remain in line with your knees, all right? So they don't want to stay above your knees, they don't want to stay below your knees. They always want to be a projection of your knees against the wall like this. So if your knees go down, your feet just follow, okay? So remember that when you are in this amazing stretch position. Sets and reps wise, you do want to perform 10 dynamic reps to start, moving your hips with extreme control throughout the entire range of motion. On the last one, you want to remain in the stretch for longer, for example, for 10 reps. Fourth exercise you want to use to stretch your adductors is the chest to wall split. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to get into a split, but this is just, in my opinion, one of the best ones because we're going to stretch the adductors with your legs straight and in an open position, which is what stretches our adductors like crazy. Now, let me show you. Now, you want to start facing the wall, legs straight. Now, from here, you want to slide out with your feet and bring your hips as close to the wall as possible. You do want to put your hands behind your glutes to do that in order to get deeper and deeper into the stretch. So you want to slide out with your feet pointed up, legs straight and turned out, body straight. I lean a little bit toward the wall with my chest, hands behind your glutes, and push yourself into the stretch as much as you want. And as soon as you feel the desired sensation of stretch, you stop here and enjoy your adductor stretch. In this position, you don't want to curve your back like this. You do want to keep an anterior tilt and a straight lower back. The wall is gonna push your hips away from it. So put your hands behind your glutes and push your body a little forward. In this way, since your hands are blocking your hips in place, you won't get off the wall, but you're gonna feel the stretch and get into the stretch, staying in the correct position at all times. One thing that can help you during this exercise here is squeezing your glutes. By squeezing your glutes, you're gonna send to your brain a signal that relaxes your adductors. It's called antagonist stretching. And by doing that, so you can better relax your adductors and the muscles involved in this position. And so you can better feel the stretch and get deeper into the position. So give your glutes a nice contraction, get yourself deeper and deeper into the stretch, and sustain this kind of glute contractions throughout the whole duration of the exercise to increase the stretch and get deeper into the chest to the wall split. This exercise here may be really intense for some of you, even impossible for someone, but there is a solution, don't worry. You do want to use some yoga blocks. You put the yoga blocks under your hips like this. Now you're gonna understand if the height is proper, if during the position you can keep a straight lower back and an anterior tilt. So if one yoga block is not enough, just use two, for example, or three. It depends on your flexibility level, but as soon as you can set up properly in the position with a straight back and an anterior tilt, you're done, okay? Now, the same technique and the same tips are true for every kind of height you might use, all right? So it doesn't matter the height, the exercise remains the same. Of course, you're gonna get easier the more you bring your hips up, and harder the more you bring your hips down, okay? So use this kind of concept to adjust the exercise on your level of preparation and stretch your adductors with the chest to the wall. All right, these are the best exercises you want to use to have a flexible adductors, hips, and legs. You want to check the link in the description down below to download a completely free routine with all the exercises we've been seeing so far and workouts you can follow, okay? So again, check the link in the description down below to download your free routine. Also remember that if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a thumb up and a comment down below if you have any questions or doubts for me, okay? Now, we've been working on our adductors throughout this video, but what about your hip flexors? In this video here, you can find all the exercises you have to do to take your hip flexors to the next level. Check it out. With that said, have a nice stretch and see you in the next one. Bye.